Good morning. I am going to hang out here for a couple of minutes until people get on for morning meditation, trying a couple new things this morning. So if you're watching after the fact, you can fast forward about 5 minutes and then you'll catch me at the beginning of the meditation. If you're just joining now, please hold tight because I'm getting a couple of things ready and I will just sort of chill here for a minute. One of the things that I'm getting ready is that I'm trying the back camera on my phone today, so I can't see the picture yet until I pull it up on my own computer, and then it's like I'll have it like a monitor, so I can't see you directly if there's anybody there. Okay, but I seem to exist. That's wonderful. Hey Pat. Hey, thanks for waving. Working out a couple of new things here, so I'm not seeing people as they come in right now, but I should probably fix that. So I learned that the camera on the back of your phone is better than the camera on the front of your phone, and so I'm trying the camera on the back of my phone for better quality, but I can't see anything. It's weirding me out, so I'm actually probably going to just turn it around. And now you get to see my plants, and then me really up close. Good morning. Hey, it's up, Jason. Good to see you. Be hanging out here for just a few more minutes until 7 o'clock, so everybody has time to get settled. Working on a couple of things on the internet until that gets going. Good morning, Catherine. How are you today? Alright, so I guess I can go ahead and start talking. So, good to be back. I just took a week off and was thinking through some stuff about how we're doing this morning meditation, and honestly I think I put myself under a lot of pressure, feeling like I have to come back and like launch Godfrey Meditation 2.0 and have this whole plan. Hey Jason. Morning, Stephanie. And you know, the reality was I was just not really ready for the whole, I didn't have like a whole plan set out, you know, and I definitely didn't have the technological know-how to make some of the things that I wanted to happen. So I just got kind of stuck, and what I came back to was, you know, last Friday I, you know, got off my official page and I just went on my private account, and I just kind of did meditation the way that I wanted to do it. I was just like chatting with you and waving at people as they came in. and not so much worrying about the numbers or who's where or anything like that. Just kind of doing what I do, and I just enjoyed it so much more than I had been lately. So that's kind of what I want to get back to is the style that I enjoy and that I think I do well. And the thing with that meditation is Jennifer, good morning. Hey, Dada March. Hey, Whitney. I was learning things from that meditation for this whole week. Like I really, things that came up during that Friday meditation, I've just been using. Good morning, Lana. For myself. So like I had a interesting week where I just had like migraines the entire week. This like low level headache, and I went back to that meditation that we did on Friday, and what came up was. Like what happens in the course of your meditation when things come up that you don't want or you don't like. And I think that came up in the context that we were just talking about breathing spaces and how, in the morning you're focusing on your breath, but your breath might not be that pleasant in the morning because you've just woken up. Your lungs are still kind of like contracted a little bit from sleeping at night, and because most people don't, breathe like that when you're sleeping. It's a much subtler breath. And then when you wake up and your body starts moving and your need for oxygen increases, your lungs aren't always like there right first thing in the morning. And so you might feel this little like, this like a little bit of like you're not getting a satisfactory breath. And so, we're just focusing on breath the way that we normally do and noticing that first thing in the morning, there might be some parts of your breath that are not really satisfying or not very pleasant. And that, that little thing just opens up this whole other kind of ball of wax because, it's not just breathing. There's all sorts of things that happen in the course of your day and in your life that you weren't asking for, you didn't want, and you're not particularly happy about, And what do you do, especially when those things are very close to your source, to who you are, right? So it's not somebody being mean to you or bad weather or something outside, but it's like something that you're probably not going to be rid of anytime soon. Whether it's like a quality of your own personality or a habit that you have, or like in my case, like a quality of my own body where like my head hurts and I don't want it to, or I'm just feeling like, migraines are more than just a headache. It's like this sort of grumpy feeling. And, like what if you don't want to feel like that, but you don't really have a choice? And that's coming up in your, not just in your meditation, but in your life. So I was going back to this Friday meditation all week. And I think that is still something I'd like to focus on over the course of this week and, into the future. But also, in that sort of relaxed style that what happens, and what comes up, we deal with it as it comes up, rather than kind of having a script going forward. So that's what I'm going to do with you guys today and see how it goes. Appreciate getting comments. Once the bell rings, I'm going to stop interacting quite so much with people as they come in. Hey, Penny! It's hard to stop entirely. And then, but feel free to ask questions as they come up in the comments, and I'll deal with them as soon as I can. So whether that's like at the end of the meditation or whether that's in a future meditation, I will come back to it, right? So don't get stressed if it looks like I'm ignoring. I go through all the comments at the end and make sure that everybody's getting heard. Okay. Good morning, Karen. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell, bring us into meditation, and then I'm going to keep talking the way I always do. First thing I wanted to say was I always tell you when I'm going to ring the bell, and that's for two reasons. One is because in my day job I work with high school students with trauma histories, And so if you have a lot of trauma, it's helpful when working with somebody with trauma to narrate what's going on so that people aren't surprised. And, you know, people with trauma don't just live in schools for people with trauma. They're all over the place. All over the place. So it's a good thing, if you're a meditation teacher, also to mention what you're going to do next so that people aren't surprised or worried about what happens. So I try and do that for you guys too, whether or not you have a trauma background. Okay, so go ahead and settle into your body. Settle into your breath. Settle into the sounds in the room. Go ahead and take an initial meter of how your breath is feeling at this moment in the day. And go ahead and do this in phases. So notice how your breath feels as it comes into your head, your nose, your mouth, your throat. Where are you feeling free? Where are you feeling constricted? So are your nostrils open? Or are you feeling difficulty there? Are you feeling stuffy? Is your throat relaxed and clear? Are your lungs and your chest relaxed and open? Is your diaphragm feeling tight or relaxed? Let's take this breath all the way into the belly now. And then all the way into your hips and your pelvic diaphragm. When your breath is very open, you should feel some movement, even in your pelvic floor. And yes, physically that's a goal. So you would like your body to be that relaxed, that open to your breath. And your body will function better if it is that relaxed and that open to your breath. And your meditation will be more pleasant if it is that relaxed and that open. But for the purposes of our meditation, it's okay if your body is not that relaxed and not that open. It's okay if there's parts of this experience that aren't what you would like or what you would expect. It's okay if there's parts of this experience that are not particularly pleasant. Right, and that counts for every part of your meditation, not just your breath. One of the most common questions that I get is, or usually it's not a question, it's really a statement. I can't meditate because I can't get my thoughts to stop. And then people that have been around for a little bit longer know that, well, you don't need your thoughts to stop. The practice of meditation is watching those thoughts. And then there's a step past that even I struggle with, which is really? That's really what we're doing here? Because that's not very much fun, sometimes. Or that doesn't feel like real meditation. Like a real meditator should be able to be calm and be quiet and not distracted by every little new turn of thought that goes through our head, right? And I definitely feel like that sometimes, that I should just be past this and be ready to just sink into my meditation and it shouldn't be an issue. But that's not my reality. Especially when you're doing a meditation practice in the context of a normal life where you have a job and rent to pay and all these things happening in your life. Our lives are structured to make us worried, right? We should be more productive. Why are you relaxing? Why are you taking time off? You should be doing. We didn't create that. We didn't ask for it. It's just the world that we turned up in. And for the most part, most of us have very little power in turning that influence down. You can get away from your screens for a time, but you need to be accessible by email. You need to be checking up on your friends on social media. You can't just disappear. You have a life, you have connections, you have responsibilities. Once you're on those screens are designed to bring you back, to make you addicted to them. All the apps that we use are designed to make you think about them, call you back. And that's not our fault. It's not it's not us being weak. Or failing to choose the right habits. It's just the world that we were born into, turned up in. And we have to deal with that the best that we can. There's a lot of pluses and minuses to the doctrine of rebirth, talking about reincarnation, but the one that I do like is the idea that there's lots of different situations to be born into. Not just historical times and places, but you can imagine there's really infinite worlds, right? You could have turned up in any of these places. You could have been a being that was made entirely of fire. Who knows? But this very particular one is the one that you showed up in. This very particular body, this very particular place, in this very particular time. The particular challenges that face us, whether we like them or not, are our challenges. Might not be the challenges that we wanted to have. But they're really good challenges for us. We're in the perfect position to deal with them. So remember that as you go about your day to day. When a challenge comes up, that is your challenge. Might not feel like the challenge that you wanted. That's a good challenge for you. May all the others that we encounter throughout the day be successful in the challenges that they face. Carry that out into the world with us today. All right, going to go ahead and ring the bell, bring us back out of meditation so you can start to open your eyes, see the room around you again. Yes, Oscar is back for a minute. hear him snarfling. All right, good morning, everybody. It's good to be back. Like I said, I took an entire week off, and that feels weird, honestly. Like after a week, I'm like, oh, I really need to get back meditating, and it's super nice to sit with other people. I like sitting alone as well, but it's good to know that there's other people out there that are working through similar things as you are and have their own struggles, and that we're kind of here, with each other's backs, watching each other go through all this stuff together. So I really appreciate that, and looking forward to a time when we could do this in person. I honestly like doing this on the internet way more than I ever thought that I would, but in person is nice too. It'll be cool to get a chance with that if that ever happens again. I'm sure. I mean, I'm not even going to joke about that because that feels a little bit too real, but it's definitely going to happen again. Question is when. So if you're on the mailing list, if you're not, you should let me know and I'll get you on the mailing list. But if you're on the mailing list, you notice that I'm working towards a goal right now, and that goal is for me to learn how to get this live stream onto my webpage so that no matter where I am, if I'm on Facebook, you can find me on my webpage. If I'm on Instagram, you can find me on my webpage. If I'm on some app that hasn't even been invented yet, it's still on my webpage. So that people that know me and they know that they're looking for me at 7 in the morning, they just go to the webpage and I'm always going to be there. But people that are just scrolling through Facebook and are like, oh, what's this? They can still see that. And I can try new platforms and different things and experiment without I feel this sort of responsibility to just be here when I said I was going to be here so that people aren't disappointed. But I would like that place to be somewhere that I have a little bit more control of, because Facebook just does its own thing and they change their mind about things, and it makes it hard for me to kind of fulfill my promises when I'm dealing with an entity that doesn't care about me that much. So I'm still going to keep using Facebook for as long as it's a useful thing to use, but I definitely want another backup so that I'm not abandoning people when Facebook does something weird, And also, I would like to not just be beholden to this thing. I'd like to try other things. Apparently all the young folks are on Instagram these days, so I'd like to check out Instagram as well and do things like that. So that's in the works. If you have not checked out SojinGodfrey.com, you should check that out. I put a link way up top in the comments. Did I? Yes, I did. All the way up at the top in the comments, SojinGodfrey.com, and the donate button is there as well. So hopefully that's working now. So check that out. So I'm going to be here every day this week. Super looking forward to it. Trying new things. I really wanted to get the camera on the back of my phone happening, but I just can't do it. It's too. I would need a camera person, and it's just not. Oscar's not going to do that for me. He's taking his rest time, so that's not happening. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow morning, bright and early. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you have success in your challenges today.